house was unnaturally quiet, the kind of heavy, pressurized silence that amplifies every tick of the wall clock and every shallow breath. Mark sat on the couch, the cold blue glow of a laptop screen providing the only illumination in the dim room. His eyes were fixed, almost unblinking, on his phone. A text message from his wife, Clara, lit up the screen. "Girls' night running late. Heading to my friend's place after the lounge. Don't wait up, babe." Mark stared at the 3 wineglass emojis for a long moment. It was 11:14 p.m. He opened a shared location app, seeing Clara's digital icon pinned firmly at a popular downtown lounge. Something felt off. A gut instinct he had been trying to suppress for weeks. He didn't react with anger. He didn't reach out to question her. Instead, he tapped out a single precise sentence and hit send. "Make sure you check the back seat before you drive. The dashboard alert says the rear passenger door was just opened from the inside." He set the phone face down on the coffee table and waited. He didn't lean back into the cushions. He remained perfectly still, his posture rigid, his mind racing through the logic of his own trap. 1 minute passed, 2, 3. At 4 minutes, the phone buzzed against the wood. Clara's location icon vanished. She had manually disabled her location sharing. Mark's grip tightened on his coffee mug until his knuckles turned white. But he didn't move. He simply waited for the arrival he knew was coming. At 11:25 p.m., exactly 10 minutes after the message, the peace of the night was shattered. A car screeched around the corner, its tires biting aggressively into the asphalt. The engine cut out with a mechanical groan, and a car door slammed with such violent force that it echoed through the entire neighborhood. Frantic, uneven footsteps rushed up the driveway, the sound of heels clicking desperately against the concrete. Mark stayed motionless on the couch as the front door swung open, hitting the stopper with a dull, heavy thud. Clara stood in the threshold, her chest heaving as if she had run a marathon. Her hair, usually styled to perfection, was slightly disheveled. She held her expensive heels in one hand and her phone gripped tightly in the other, her eyes wide, darting around the room until they finally locked onto Mark. "Mark!" she gasped, her voice trembling with a mix of terror and disbelief. "Where is it? Where did you see it?" Mark looked at her with a chilling, artificial calm. He took a slow, deliberate sip of his cold coffee. "See what, Clara?" "The alert. The text you sent." She stepped further into the light, her voice cracking. "You said someone opened the backseat door. I ran out of the lounge. I didn't even look back. I just drove straight home. Mark, did someone break into my car? Is someone tracking it? Do I need to call the police?" Mark set his mug down on the coaster with a soft, final click. "Clara, take a breath. You're shaking." "Of course I'm shaking," she cried, the hysteria rising in her throat. "You told me there was an intruder in my car. Why are you sitting there so calm? Why haven't you called the police?" Mark stood up slowly, his movements fluid and unhurried. He walked over to the window, pulling the curtain back just enough to peer through at the car parked crookedly in the driveway. "I didn't call the police because there was never anyone in your car, Clara." Clara froze. The frantic, panicked energy in the room seemed to evaporate, replaced by a vacuum of heavy realization. Her expression shifted from raw terror into deep confusion, and finally into a flicker of defensive, sharp-edged anger. "What? But your text, the dashboard alert!" "My car has a SmartLink system," Mark interrupted, his voice even. "But your car is an older model. It doesn't send cellular telemetry or dashboard alerts to my phone. It never has." It was a bluff. The room went dead silent. The only sound was the distant hum of a refrigerator. Clara's posture slumped, the heels she was holding slipping from her fingers and hitting the hardwood floor with a sharp, hollow thud. "You lied to me," she whispered, the accusation weak. "I ran a test," Mark replied, his voice dropping into a dangerously quiet register. "And you passed it with flying colors." "A test? You scared me to death. You had me running through a parking lot at midnight in fear for my life. Why would you do that?" Mark stepped closer to her, closing the distance until he loomed over her. His demeanor was cold, analytical, and devoid of the warmth she was used to. "Because you said you were at a loud lounge downtown with your friends. But when I sent that text, you didn't call me. You didn't ask a single follow-up question. You didn't call the authorities yourself. And most importantly, you managed to get from the downtown lounge to our driveway in exactly 10 minutes. Clara tried to interrupt, but her throat went completely dry. At this time of night, with no traffic, it takes 25 minutes to navigate the route from that lounge to this house, Mark continued, his eyes searching hers for a flicker of remorse that wasn't there. The only way you could be standing in this living room 10 minutes after I hit send is if you were already parked less than 2 miles from this house. Your friend lives on the other side of the city, so you weren't with her. You turned your location services off the second you realized you'd been caught in a radius lie." Clara backed away, her retreat halting when her shoulder blades hit the frame of the front door. "You're insane. You're tracking my minutes? You're setting traps for me? So what if I wasn't downtown? Maybe I wanted some space. Maybe I was sitting in a park, clearing my head because you're constantly suffocating me with your games." Mark didn't blink. He reached into his pocket and pulled out his phone, tapping the screen before turning it toward her. It showed a live, crystal-clear feed from a small, magnetic dashcam he had concealed under the passenger seat. "I didn't need to track your minutes, Clara. I noticed the mileage on your car was jumping by 50 miles every week, despite your work commute being short, so I put a tracker in the glove box. You weren't at the park. You were at those luxury apartments on the north side, right next to the highway, the ones where he lives." Clara's face went hauntingly pale. A single tear broke free, carving a dark, jagged path through her foundation. She looked at the phone, then back at Mark, realizing there was no script left to follow. "Mark, please," she sobbed, the desperation finally setting in. "It was a mistake. It was just a stupid, impulsive mistake. It's over, I swear it's over." Mark walked to the side table, picked up his car keys, and brushed past her without a glance. "You're right," he said, his voice completely flat. "It is over. You can keep the house for the night. I'll be at a hotel. Don't wait up." He stepped out into the cool, biting night air, leaving her alone in the crushing, hollow silence of a life that had just collapsed in 10 minutes.